My people, no be small tin o. Tinubu don land himself for another wahala wey the Nigeria people don start to dey drag am o. My people, no be small tin o. Na different tin na come dey happen, my people. People don talk say before Tinubu talk say go fight corruption, why Tinubu no let the court do the right thing wey Tinubu dey come outside say dem wan fight corruption. So whether Tinubu know wetin dem dey call corruption for Nigeria. My people, not be smart, you know. A lot of people talk, they talk, say, will I say Tinubu no know what they call corruption? Because if you know what they call corruption, you know go come outside to talk, say, in one fight corruption, where we say, matter day for court, where we say they see the drag for inside court. Not be smart, you know. A lot of people don't drag Tinubu, so say, he don't go land for Rufai table. So say people, they talk, say, this one wey be say the matter don go land for Rufai table, so wahala don happen, table leg don break, everywhere don scatter. My people, I go like make una go watch the video, make una see the way they don take talk to Tinubu. Say, Tinubu, now you dey talk about corruption, been a person dey talk, been a person just write the something give you, make you come read am for the Nigeria people, they no understand. Make una go watch the video, my people.
Make corruption unattractive for judges and other Nigerian workers, adding that the temptation for corruption would reduce if the right incentives that guarantee a conducive working atmosphere are implemented.
This is the way to fight corruption. You don't expect your judges, and you have been contributing very well to this. You don't expect your judges to live in squalor, to dispense justice in squalor. This is part of the changes that is necessary in our policy think tank. We must fight corruption, and we definitely must look at the other side of the coin. If you don't want your judges to be corrupt, you've got to pay attention to their welfare.
Well, all right. You know that this statement has generated a lot of reactions. I mean, basically because of, the controversial election. He has a petition at the election tribunal. A lot of Nigerians have reacted to his statement. I'll take one from Daniel, who wrote, Buhari promised to fight corruption before he assumed office. But look at how things turned out. Tinubu is promising the same, whereas he was declared president-elect after a biased election. And majority of the people he's working with have questionable characters. What a joke. Well, another Twitter user there goes, his name is John. He says, the best way to fight judicial corruption or corruption among judges is granting them complete autonomy, especially financial autonomy. Else, no matter what any governor does for judges or for the judiciary, it will not stop corruption in the judiciary. He who plays the piper dictates the tune.
The truth has to be said. You see, I would like to comment on both stories. The first story is about the judges. I'm not surprised. It's the kind of country we live in, Audrey. As from today, please, you can call me Judge. Because it's obvious that you don't need to have...
Judge Rufai.
Yes, Judge. I like it. Judge. Dr. Batu, please call me Judge.
You have to have a law degree.
You don't have to have a law degree in Nigeria. That's the sad reality. And that's the kind of country, I think, you see, the kind of absurdities that happen in Nigeria are kind of things Franz Kafka talked about in one of his novels. So this is a Kafkaesque reality in our country today. It's just like all sorts of people are being called engineers without any engineering degree. As long as you can repair a fan somewhere, say engineer, you used to say, just like people that are being called engineer, they didn't even learn structural engineering or anything. But that's the kind of society we live. Concerning this, what's it called? President-elect saying he wants to make corruption unattractive. How ironic is a state governor supposed to be building court complexes in the first place? So how ironic, on a day you are launching a project that is supposed to be an anomaly, because this does not amplify the independence of the judiciary. You're saying you want to make it unattractive. I gave an analysis this morning. The best way to make it unattractive, apart from financial independence and autonomy of the judiciary, is the fact that you should whittle down the power of politicians. Because you see, once politicians get into power, what it does is it captures state for its own benefit to be able to have a money arsenal. then what does it do? It permeates every sector of government and governance, from the judiciary to every sector to work in his favor, even up to law enforcement. So once he has his own retinue of retainers that feed off him, he becomes an ecosystem on his own accord. And how did he do it? He did it with the capacity of state capture, not even his own money. And that's why I see people get into politics in Nigeria and all of a sudden they become multi-billionaires. So reduce the attraction in government first, reduce the capacity of politicians to be able to do anything based on the level of accountability. Then the second part is improve upon the economy and the social structure of Nigeria in such a way that a take-home pay of a judge we know will actually take him home. Judges will be well remunerated. There are cases about courts where the generator is not working. Oji, I had a case in court for 3 years, and I think my experiences are still things I have to write about.
Wow.
So you will see that the dispensation of justice is problematic as it is today. And that's why you can see that corruption can easily permeate. But largely, most of the corruption is caused by the political class. Because once they capture every paraphernalia of states, what they do is even they influence who become judges, who sits on the court and everything. So once they do that, you can't remove corruption. But how ironic, on a day that they are launching something that is not supposed to be, because a state governor has no business building all of this. As a state governor, when you build court rooms and everything, which judge wants to give a judgment against you? It's almost impossible. Yeah. So we know the problem, but you see, in that Kafkaesque attitude, we keep doing things. And we want things to change. No, it won't change.
Well, I'll take this story before I come to you, Ayo, because you just made a valid point. How does a state governor build a facility for a judge?
Judge in the first place.
Well, in another development, the president-elect, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has said that his banter with Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike during the inauguration of a flyover in Obiokpo local government area of Rivers State on Wednesday morning, in which he stated that he owes Wike nothing, was wrongly reported. Tinubu made the comment during a banquet dinner, adding that he cannot even approve a dime until he's inaugurated, and that there can only be one president at a time.
I had changed a banter with the Governor Wike. If you take me seriously, the question is, I'm a president-elect. I have no signature for expenditure until sworn in. How can I make commitments? I cannot sign a dime of Nigerian money or expenditure. Now, there can only be one president at a time.
All right, there you have it. The president-elect is saying that, his banter was misreported. Yesterday, the first thing I said, but he's been an advocate for true federalism where states are supposed to, take control of their resources, infrastructure, and all of that. I don't know what your thoughts are with all of these.
Okay, it would have saved us a lot of analysis yesterday if you had just simply added, I owe you nothing until May 29, 2023, so that we wouldn't have, because one of words were used as presidential, hopeful that, the scam that some of the governors, I'm not saying the governor, this is a scam, it has to be investigated to find that out, but that some of these scams in terms of repairing state roads, very extensive conversation. If you didn't watch yesterday's show, please definitely go back to it. So he now coming back to say that let me use we, because they're the only ones that I know, misreported, didn't credit him properly. In fact, he said it was poverty of the mind and poverty of thinking for you to just insinuate or deduce from his statement that this was what he meant. I'm sorry that then we gave the benefit of the doubt, because what we had said yesterday, based on his statement, was that it wouldn't be business as usual. So obviously, inversely, what he's saying is that come after May 29, when he does become president, there would be a refund when he's able to sign expenditure. I hope I haven't now misrepresented again or misreported what he said. But then this goes back to the statement he made earlier about corruption and incentives for making corruption unattractive. These are part of the issues that we are talking about with regards to ending corruption. If state governments are allowed, despite the many instances where it has been proven as false, and a number of times under this administration it has been said that it to be stopped, even though there have been exceptions that have been made, then we will continue to see corruption thrive in that way. And that's why beyond the judiciary, he said he was going to set up a think tank to address corruption. Beyond the judiciary is to look at the very root cause of corruption and what incentivizes corruption. Things like this, matters like this do incentivize, because guess what? What would stop another governor to do everything and anything to ensure that he delivers a state? Because at the end of the day, he knows that there would be some sort of reward. Let me put it that way, in terms of, look at that state banquet. I'd like Governor Nyesom Wike.
My people, now the video now on a new watch finish, so on a see what Apple for inside the video. Alright, my people, I would like to end the video for you. Because let me know what you other thing for the comment section. And if you never subscribe, because subscribe, so that on no go miss early later just way and the upload. Bye bye till I come next time. Bye guys, see you guys for the next video. Bye guys.